Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Mahārāja's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Mahārāja on September 7th, 2022 in Sri Māyāpur, India.
O Kṛṣṇa Divasalam
Pangum Langayate Girim
Yati Vadavan Manne
Shri Gurum Deenatarinam
Paramananda Madhavam
Shri Caitanya Mishra
Hariom Tatsat.
So today we will read from Bhagavad Gita as it is before we start with the compilation of the Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya book. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate. Okay. Dhritarashtra Vacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetayuyutsavaha Mamakav Pandavaschaiva Kimma Kurvata Sanjaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Purport. Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatmya, bracket, glorification of Gita, end of bracket. There it says that one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly with the help of a person who is a devotee of Sri Kṛṣṇa and try to understand it without personally motivated interpretations. The example of clear understanding is there in the Bhagavad Gita itself, in the way the teaching is understood by Arjuna, who heard the Gita directly from the Lord. If someone is fortunate enough to understand the Bhagavad Gita in that line of disciplic succession without motivated interpretation, then he surpasses all studies of Vedic wisdom and all scriptures of the world. One will find in the Bhagavad Gita all that is contained in other scriptures, but the reader will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere. That is the specific standard of the Gita. It is the perfect theistic science because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa. The topics discussed by Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya as described in the Mahabharata form the basic principle for this great philosophy. It is understood that this philosophy evolved on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is a sacred place of pilgrimage from time immemorial of the Vedic age. It was spoken by the Lord when He was present personally on this planet for the guidance of mankind. The word Dharmakshetra, bracket, a place where religious rituals are performed, end of bracket, is significant because on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present on the site of Arjuna. Dhritarashtra, the father of the Kurus, was highly doubtful about the possibility of his son's ultimate victory. In his doubt, he inquired from his secretary Sanjaya, what did they do? He was confident that both his sons and the sons of his younger brother Pandu were assembled in the field of Kurukshetra for determined engagement of the war. Still, his inquiry is significant. He did not want a compromise between the cousins and brothers, and he wanted to be sure of the fate of his sons on the battlefield. Because the battlefield was arranged to be fought at Kurukshetra, which is mentioned elsewhere in the Vedas as a place of worship, even for the denizens of heaven, Dhritarashtra became very fearful about the influence of the holy place on the outcome of the battle. He knew well that this would influence Arjuna and the sons of Pandu favorably, because by nature they were all virtuous. Sanjaya was a student of Vyasa, and therefore, by the mercy of Vyasa, Sanjaya was able to envision the battlefield of Kurukshetra even while he was in the room of Dhritarashtra. And so Dhritarashtra asked him about the situation on the battlefield. Both the Pandavas and the sons of Dhritarashtra belong to the same family, but Dhritarashtra's mind is disclosed herein. He deliberately claimed only his sons as Kurus, and he separated the sons of Pandu from the family heritage. One can thus understand the specific position of Dhritarashtra in his relationship with his nephews, the sons of Pandus. As in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out, so it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion, Sri Kṛṣṇa, was present, the unwanted plants like Dhritarashtra's son, Duryodhana, and others would be wiped out, and the thoroughly religious person headed by Yudhishthira would be established by the Lord. This is the significance of the words Dharmakshetre and Kurukshetre apart from their historical and Vedic importance.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. So, I saw the Bhagavad Gita on the desk of His Divine Grace.
So, I saw the Bhagavad Gita on the desk of His Divine Grace.
And he described that reading the Bhagavad Gita was also important for every preacher.
He also described reading the Bhagavad Gita is also important for the preachers.
Because it gives all the information that people need to spread Krishna consciousness.
Because it gives all the information that people need to spread the Krishna consciousness.
So, and I thought I'll read a little bit from the Gita first.
So I thought I would read a little bit from the Gita first.
Now we'll go ahead with the compilation of the Caitanya book.
So continuing with the compilation of the Sri Krishna Caitanya book, today's chapter is entitled Muslims thought Srila Haridāsa Thakur to be a Mohammedan saintly person. Under the section The Glories of Srila Haridāsa Thakur, Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adikhanda 16.95.
ঠাকুরের অমোঘ বাক্য শ্রবণে নবাবের কাজীর সমীপে তৎপ্রতি অনুষ্ঠেয় আচরণ জিজ্ঞাসা শুনিয়া তাহান বাক্য মূলকের প্রতি জিজ্ঞাসিল এবে কি করিবাইয়া প্রতি.
After hearing Srila Haridāsa Thakur's statement, the king asked the Qazi, "Now, what will you do with him?"
The king wanted to hear, since Haridāsa Thakur was determined to chant the name of God.
Thus, the king wanted to hear, since Haridāsa Thakur was determined to chant the names of God.
What did the Qazi want to do?
So, what did the Qazi want to do?
Actually, it seems quite reasonable that Haridāsa Thakur wanted to chant the holy name of Kṛṣṇa.
Actually, it seems to be quite beautiful that Haridāsa Thakur wanted to chant the names of Kṛṣṇa.
But the Qazi was determined that he should be punished.
But the Qazi was determined that he should be punished. Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adikhanda 16.96.
সৌর্তপন্থী বৈকুণ্ঠ শব্দনিষ্ঠ জগৎগুরুর ও তৎপ্রচারিত সত্যের বিলোপ সাধনার্থ তদ্বিরুদ্ধে শ্রুতি বিরোধী অসুরের হিংসা অভিযান কাজী বলে 22 বাজার বেরি মারি প্রাণ লহ আর কিছু বিচার না করি।
The Qazi replied, he should be beaten in 22 marketplace. Take his life in this way, that is my opinion. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. In the end, the atheist Qazi proposed to the king as follows: let Haridāsa be beaten in each of the 22 marketplaces within Ambuya Muluka. Then he will die. This is the proper punishment for the sin he has incurred by accepting the behavior of the Hindus and chanting the names of the Hindu god.
So this Qazi was actually an atheist.
So this Qazi was actually an atheist.
Because if anyone chants or says the name of God,
Because if anyone chants or says the name of God
in any language,
in any language,
why should one protest?
why should one protest?
And that be beaten in 22 marketplaces, one cannot survive even 3 marketplaces beating.
So to be beaten in 22 marketplaces, one cannot even survive in 3 marketplaces beating.
So his intention was to kill Haridāsa Thakur,
So his intention was to kill Haridāsa Thakur,
which is something it's not unreasonable that a person is punished for believing God.
So it is unreasonable that a person is being punished for believing in God. Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda 16.97.
আসরিক প্রযত্নের ব্যর্থতা সাধনপূর্বক তৎ অতিক্রমকারী বৈষ্ণবের যোগ ঐশ্বর্য দর্শনে অসুরগণে তৎপ্রচারিত সত্যের মাহাত্ম্য স্বীকার। 22 বাজারে মারিলেই যদি জিয়ে তবে জানি জ্ঞানী সব সাচ্ছা কথা কয়ে।
If he survives being beaten in 22 marketplaces, then we will understand that he is actually knowledgeable in his words are true. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. If in spite of being beaten in 22 marketplaces, Haridāsa remains alive, then we will know that he is truthful and non-duplicitous. And if he dies, then his punishment was proper.
This is the judgment of the Qazi.
So this is the judgment of the Qazi.
Beat him in 22 marketplaces.
Beat him in 22 marketplaces.
If he dies,
judgment
is true.
The judgment is true.
If he survives,
And if he survives,
then he's true.
then he is true.
But that is not a reasonable test.
But that is not a reasonable test.
But because Haridāsa Thakur is protected by Kṛṣṇa,
Because Haridāsa Thakur is protected by Kṛṣṇa,
we'll see what happens.
so we will see what happens. Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda 16.98.
বৈকুণ্ঠ সৌর্ত সত্য উপাসককে হিংসা অনর্থ অসুরের প্ররোচন ও জনবল প্রয়োগ। পাই সকলে ডাকি তর্জ করি কহে এ মত মারিবে যেন প্রাণ নাহি রহে।
The Qazi then called the gods and sternly ordered them, beat him in such way that he will die. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. The word paika derived from the word padatika means guards or servants. the servant guards were ordered to severely beat Haridāsa Thakur more than needed to make his life air leave the body.
So after the Qadi said if he survives, then his words are true.
So after the Qadi said, if he survives, then his words are true,
He told the executioners to beat him especially hard and that he'll die.
so he told the executioners to beat him especially hard so that he will die. Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adi Kanda 16.99.
বৈকুণ্ঠ সৌত সত্যুপাসককে অসুরে জাতিবুদ্ধি ও তদীয় দেহ হনন দ্বারা তদ উদ্ধার কামনা যবন হইয়া যে হিন্দু আনি করে প্রাণান্ত হইতে শেষে এ পাপ হইতে তরে.
If a Muslim who follows the Hindu religion is killed, then he will be delivered from that sin. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. The death sentence is proper punishment for Muslims who give up their religion and follow the religion and behavior of the infidel Hindus. There is no sin more grave than for a non-Hindu to accept the Hindu religion. Death is the only atonement for such a sin.
Qazi is showing his unacceptable behavior.
So the Qazi is showing his unacceptable behavior.
That Haridāsa has developed faith for the one Lord
That Haridāsa Thakur has developed faith for that one Lord
who is over all religions.
who's over all religions.
But this atheist Qazi wants to kill him
But this atheist Qazi, he wants to kill him
for considering it a just punishment.
for considering it just a punishment.
So, in this way, the world is torn apart by this kind of fanatic understanding.
So in this way the world is torn apart by this kind of fanatic understanding. Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adi Kanda 16.100.
সত্য বিরোধী কাজীর কথায় সত্য বিরোধী নবাবের আজ্ঞায় অসুরগণের বাস্তব সত্যদ্রোহ পাপীর বচনে সে পাপী আজ্ঞা দিল দুষ্ট গণে আসি হরিদাসরে ধরিল.
Instigated by the words of the sinful Qazi, the sinful king gave his order and the miscreant guards arrested Haridāsa Thakur. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. The sins of those who envy the Vaishnavas are understood to have fully matured. Since the atheist Qazi caused mischief to Haridāsa Thakur, both he and the king were extremely sinful. The guards who arrested Haridāsa Thakur on the order of their sinful masters were also affected by sinful reactions.
And the 10 offenses to the holy name,
So in the 10 offenses to the holy name,
offending a devotee who has surrendered to the holy name
offending a devotee who had surrendered to the holy name
is the worst offense.
is the worst offense.
These Qazi, the king, the executioners are all implicated in this great offense.
This Qazi, the king, the executioners, they are all committed in this great offense. Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adi Kanda 16.101.
সত্য প্রচার নিষ্ঠ জগৎগুরুকে অসুরগণের 22 বাজার অতি নির্মমভাবে প্রহার বাজারে বাজারে সব বেরি দুষ্ট গণে মারে সে নির্জীব করি মহাক্রোধ মনে।
The miscreant guards thereafter took Haridāsa Thakur from market to market and mercilessly beat him. Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adikanda 16.102.
কৃষ্ণই এক গতচিত্ত প্রসন্ন আত্মা, আকুত ভয় ঠাকুরের বাহ্য ব্যবহারিক সুখ দুঃখ স্মৃতি রাহিত্য। কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ স্মরণ করেন হরিদাস, নাম আনন্দে দেহ দুঃখ না হয় প্রকাশ।
Haridāsa simply remembered the name of
Kṛṣṇa.
Kṛṣṇa. On an account of that ecstatic remembrance, he felt no pain.
So, Haridāsa Thakur, he was completely transcendental.
So Haridāsa Thakur, he was completely transcendental.
And therefore he simply remembered the holy name of Kṛṣṇa.
Therefore, he simply remembered the holy name of Kṛṣṇa.
And thus he was in total ecstasy,
And thus he was in total ecstasy,
feeling no pain.
feeling no pain. Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adikanda 16.103.
সজ্জন শিরোমণির প্রতি দ্রোহ দর্শনে সজ্জনগণের অশেষ মনোক্লেশ, দেখি হরিদাস দেহে অত্যন্ত প্রহার, সজ্জন সকল দুঃখ ভাবেরও অপার।
The pious people were greatly distressed to see the excessive beating of Haridāsa Thakur. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. Hearing and seeing the severe beating and unjustified oppression of Thakur Haridāsa, the saintly persons became extremely distressed. Some of them openly declared, by oppressing the Vaishnavas in this way, the great inauspiciousness will soon fall upon this kingdom. Simply, as a result of torturing the Vaishnavas, the world faces various miseries like famine, drought, plague, and war.
When Haridāsa Thakur was being beaten,
When Haridāsa Thakur was being beaten,
he prayed to Kṛṣṇa
he prayed to Kṛṣṇa.
that these guards know not what they do.
So these guards know not what they do.
Please forgive them.
Please forgive them.
So, because Haridāsa Thakur prayed for their forgiveness,
Because Haridāsa Thakur prayed for their forgiveness,
so Kṛṣṇa, he couldn't do anything.
so Kṛṣṇa, he couldn't do anything.
He was going to kill them
He was
with
going
the Sudarshan Chakra.
He was going to kill them with his Sudarshan Chakra.
Instead, what he did was he put his back and accepted all the whips.
Instead, what he did, he put his back and accepted all the whips. Gauranga Haribol. Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adikanda 16.104.
ভক্ত দ্রোহ ফলে সত্য বিশ্বাসী কাহারো কাহারো মনে ভবিষ্যতের সমগ্র দেশ নাশ বিষয়ে আশঙ্কা, কেহ বলে উচ্ছন্ন হইবে সর্বরাজ্য, সে নিমিত্তে সুজনেরে করে হেন কার্য।
Someone said, the entire kingdom will be destroyed because they are torturing such a saintly person.
The public who were truthful and pious,
The public who were truthful and pious,
they were criticizing this torturing of Haridāsa Thakur.
They were criticizing this torturing of Haridāsa Thakur.
This is very inauspicious
This is very inauspicious,
and will bring all kinds of bad karma
and it will bring
to the
all
kingdom.
kinds of bad karma to the kingdom. Shri Caitanya Bhagavat Adikanda 16.105.
সত্য বিশ্বাসী কাহারাও বা ভক্তদ্রোহী বিনাশ কামনা রাজা উজারির কেও সাপে ক্রোধ মনে মারামারি করিতেও উঠে কোন জনে
Someone angrily cursed the king and the Qazi, and someone else was prepared to fight them. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. As a result of the Muslims' misbehavior towards Haridāsa Thakur, the sadhus became most angry and displeased at heart. Some of them mentally cursed the king and his minister, and some sowed the seed of discontent in order to bring about a revolution in the state.
So, if one sees a Vaishnava Aparat,
So if one sees the Vaishnava aparat,
he should protest.
he should protest.
And this is being done by the pious people.
And this should be done by the pious people.
This was being done.
This was being done by the pious people. Shri Caitanya Bhagavat Adikanda 16.106.
সত্য বিশ্বাসী কাহারো বা পাপী পাইকগণের চরণ ধারণ কেহ গিয়া জবন গণের পায়ে ধরে কিছু দিব অল্প করি মারো হারে
Another person fell at the feet of the Muslims and said, I'll give you some money if you don't beat him so hard. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. Some of them fell at the feet of the Muslims who were mercilessly beating Srila Haridāsa Thakur and begged their mercy to spare his life, and some of them tried to stop the beating with bribes.
So, people were seeing the merciless beating of Haridāsa Thakur.
So people were seeing the merciless beating of Haridāsa Thakur,
And they tried to stop it in any way.
and they tried to stop it in any way.
And this shows how the good people, how they were distressed by this sinful being of Haridāsa Thakur.
So this shows how the good people were distressed by seeing the sinful beating of Haridāsa Thakur. Shri Caitanya Bhagavat Adikanda 16.107.
ভক্তদ্রোহী পাষণ্ডীগণের নিঘৃণ্য পুলিশ কঠোর নির্মম হৃদয় তথাপি দয়া নাহি জন্মে পাপী গণে বাজারে বাজারে মারে মহাক্রোধ মনে
Nevertheless, the sinful gods showed no mercy, and they continued angrily beating Haridāsa Thakur from market to market.
So the executioners
So the executioners
did not slow down.
did not stop down.
They beat Haridāsa Thakur mercilessly
They beat Haridāsa Thakur mercilessly
on every market.
in every market. The
Causing tremendous pain to all the pious people.
giving tremendous pain to all the pious people. The executioners did not slow down. Shri Caitanya Bhagavat Adikanda 16.108.
কৃষ্ণ কৃপায় বহিঃপ্রতীত ব্যবহারিক ক্লেশ প্রাপ্তিচ্ছলে অন্তরে পরপ্রেমা আনন্দ সুখ কৃষ্ণের প্রসাদে হরিদাসের শরীরে অল্প দুঃখ নাহি জন্মে এতক প্রহারে
By the mercy of Lord Kṛṣṇa, Haridāsa Thakur felt no pain whatsoever in spite of such heavy beating.
So, Haridāsa being protected by Lord Kṛṣṇa,
So Haridāsa Thakur, being protected by Lord Kṛṣṇa,
he felt no pain
he felt no pain
in spite of merciless beating.
in spite of merciless beating.
He was in transcendental ecstasy of the holy name,
So, in the transcendental ecstasy of holy name,
and he didn't feel anything.
and he didn't feel anything.
All the sinful executioners were very angry and beating them all their might.
So, the sinful executioners were very angry and beating him all
Their might.
all they might.
Haridāsa Thakur, he was simply absorbed in love of Godhead.
But Haridāsa Thakur, he was simply absorbed in the love of Godhead. Shri Caitanya Bhagavat Adikanda 16.109.
সত্য যুগীয় ভক্তরাজ প্রহ্লাদের দৃষ্টান্ত উপমা অসুর প্রহারে যেন প্রহাদ বিগ্রহে কোন দুঃখ না জানিল সর্বশাস্ত্রে কহে.
The scriptures explain that Prahlad Maharaj felt no pain when he was mercilessly beaten by the demons. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. Just as Hiranyakashipu tortured his Mahabhagavata son Prahlad Maharaj in various ways, Bhagavatam 7.5.33 to 53 and 7.8.1 to 13, the sinful Muslims also began to torture Haridāsa Thakur in various ways. But like Bhaktaraj Prahlad, he did not feel a tinge of misery. The quality of tolerance like this is natural for Mahabhagavatas. They are so busy in constantly serving the Supreme Lord that incidents of external world like torture cannot give them any anxiety. That is why Lord Sri Gaur Sundar has stated in Sikshashtaka that only one is more tolerant than a tree is able to glorify the topics of Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa, not others. If a practitioner is intolerant, then he will not be able to glorify Lord Sri Hari, because we have seen by innumerable cases in this world that persons who are averse to the Supreme Lord have unfairly and unnecessarily attacked the all-auspicious, honest preacher engaged in chanting the names of Lord Sri Hari, and have tried to close his mouth, which is engaged in glorifying Lord Sri Hari.
So, just as Haridāsa Thakur,
So just as
Prahlad Maharaj,
Prahlad Maharaj,
he was protected by Lord Kṛṣṇa and didn't feel the torturing of the demons.
he was protected by Lord Kṛṣṇa and didn't feel the torturing of the demons.
Similarly, like Lord Jesus Christ, he was punished although he was not sinful.
Similarly, Lord Jesus Christ, he was punished although he was not sinful.
For preaching methods of God consciousness,
So preaching the methods of God consciousness,
the atheistic demons always
the
are against.
atheistic demons are always are against.
And so sometimes innocent devotees are put to some horrible treatment.
So sometimes we have seen devotees are put into horrible treatments.
But great souls, Mahabhagavats,
But great souls, Mahabhagavats,
like Haridāsa Thakur,
like Haridāsa Thakur,
they survive all these tests.
they survive all this test. Shri Caitanya Bhagavat, this is the continuation of the purport is there. The sinful society that is intoxicated by pride related with family, caste, wealth, and material education always try to completely stop the glorification of Lord Sri Hari, which is the only absolute truth. Even on the dishonest plea of duplicitously joining the Sankirtan party in name, they silently oppose chanting the holy names, which are Satya Vastu, the absolute truth. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda 16.110.
অসুরগণের অত্যাধিক প্রহার সত্ত্বেও হরিদাসের বাহ্য ব্যবহারিক ক্লেশ অনুভূতি রাহিত্য। এই মতো যবনের অশেষ প্রহারে দুঃখ না হরিদাস ঠাকুরে।
In the same way, Srila Haridāsa Thakur felt no pain as he was mercilessly beaten by the Muslims.
In the same way, Prahlād Mahārāja felt no pain.
In the same way,
Jayapataka felt no pain.
In the same way, Prahlād Mahārāja did not feel the pain, felt no pain, Haridāsa Thakur felt no pain. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda 16.111.
সত্যস্বরূপ শ্রী নামাচার্যের স্বয়ং ত্রিতাপ দুঃখ অনুভব দূরে থাকুক, তদীয় নাম স্মরণেই তর নিবৃত্তি। হরিদাস মরেন এই দুঃখ সর্বথা, ছিন্ডে সেই ক্ষণে হরিদাসের কি কথা।
What to speak of Haridāsa Thakur himself? Even one remembers his activities is immediately relieved of all material miseries. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. What to speak of Thakur Haridas feeling distress due to severe torture? All the distress of even a person who remembers this incomparable tolerance of Haridāsa Thakur will also be completely destroyed.
Torturing by whipping someone in 22 marketplaces
Torturing by whipping someone in 22 marketplaces
is inconceivable.
is inconceivable.
By remembering how Haridāsa Thakur tolerated all this abuse,
By remembering how Haridāsa Thakur tolerated all this abuse,
one is freed from all miseries of this material world.
one is freed from all miseries of this material world. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda 16.112.
নিজদ্রোহী সত্য বিরোধী অসুরগণের কল্যাণ কামনা। সবে যে সকল পাপীগণ তারে মারে, তার লাগি দুঃখ মাত্র হবে না অন্তরে।
Rather, Haridāsa Thakur felt sorry for the sinful gods who were engaged in beating him, and he prayed. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada, for the benefit and deliverance of those sinful offenders who defy the Bhagavad Vaishnavas, the saintly persons consider them candidates for their mercy and feel concerned within their hearts. Such characteristics are also seen in the lives of Jesus Christ and Prophet Muhammad. Guru Maharaj.
Jai Guru Maharaj. You are very scary teacher.
I see how Haridāsa Thakur, he had no ill feeling
So we can see that Haridāsa Thakur, he had no ill feeling
for the executioners.
for the executioners.
Rather, he prayed for their deliverance.
Rather, he prayed for their deliverance. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda 16.113.
নিজ প্রভু কৃষ্ণ সমীপে সত্য বিরোধী অসুরগণের সত্য দ্রোহ অপরাধের ক্ষমাপণ প্রার্থনা। এসব জীবেরে কৃষ্ণ করহ প্রসাদ, মোর দ্রোহে নহ এ সবারও অপরাধ।
Oh, Krishna, be merciful on these living entities. Forgive their offenses for torturing me. purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. If one defies the devotees of the Lord, the Supreme Lord becomes greatly displeased. Realizing that the Supreme Lord would be greatly displeased by the torture inflicted on him by the sinful Muslims, Thakur Haridāsa prayed at the lotus feet of the Lord for their benefit. The devotees of the Lord never pray. Let the minds of the living entities always remain distracted from the service of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa, as this brings out about their ruination. The Vaishnava Thakurs, who are compassionate to all living entities, never become the cause of others' inauspiciousness.
Although the torturers are very sinful,
Although the torturers were very sinful,
nevertheless, Haridāsa Thakur prayed for their deliverance.
nevertheless, Haridāsa Thakur prayed for their deliverance.
Just as Prahlād Maharaj prayed to Lord Nrsimhadev
Just as Prahlād Maharaj prayed to Lord Nrsimhadev
for the deliverance of his father.
for the deliverance of his father. Jai. Shri Caitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda 16.114.
বৈকুণ্ঠ নামাচার্য সৌত সত্য কীর্তনকারী জগৎগুরু প্রতি পাষণ্ডীগণে নির্যাতন। এই মতো পাপীগণ নগরে নগরে প্রহার করে হরিদাস ঠাকুরে।
In this way, the sinful gods beat Haridāsa Thakur in the various marketplaces.
So, the executioners followed the order of the king
So the executioners followed the orders of the sinful Qazi
and beat Haridāsa Thakur in 22 marketplaces.
and beat Haridāsa Thakur in 22 marketplaces. Shri Caitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda 16.115.
আসন্নীগণে নির্দয় প্রহার সত্ত্বেও ঠাকুরের অনুক্ষণ কৃষ্ণ স্মৃতি হেতু বাক্য ব্যবহারিক ক্লেশ অনুভূতি রাহিত্য দৃঢ় করি মানে তারা প্রাণ লইবারে মনস্মৃতি নাহি হরিদাসের প্রহারে।
They beat him severely in order to kill him, but Haridāsa Thakur was not even disturbed by their beating. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada, being bewildered by the waves of thoughts about the external world, the ordinary conditioned souls accept their own flickering mind as the director of all their activities. But since the devotees of the Lord are constantly engaged in the service of Lord Sri Hari, they do not engage their mind in enjoying external material objects. Rather, they do not retain any memory of any material incident or object. In other words, they have completely forgotten all false bodily identification. As it is stated, Krishna Nami Prito Jade Udashin Nirdosh Anandamay. They are attached to the holy names of Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa, indifferent to material objects, faultless and always joyful.
So, Haridāsa Thakur, he was so tolerant.
So Haridāsa Thakur, he was so tolerant,
He never felt any negative thing
he never felt any negative thing
towards the executioners.
towards the executioners.
In fact, because he was totally absorbed in Krishna consciousness, he didn't feel anything.
The fact is that because he was totally absorbed in Krishna consciousness, he didn't feel anything. Shri Caitanya Bhagavat Adi Khanda 16.160.
স্ব আসরি প্রযত্নে পরাজয় ও বৈফল্য দর্শনে স্ববিস্ময়ে অসুরগণের চিন্তা ও সত্যস্বরূপ নাম আচার্যের মহাযোগ ঐশ্বর্য দর্শনে তাহাকে অতি মত্ত বুদ্ধি বিস্মিত হইয়া ভাবে সকল যবনে মানুষে প্রাণ কি রহে মরণে।
The Muslims were astonished to see this and thought, can a human being survive after such a beating?
Even the Muslims saying the way Haridāsa was being beaten,
So even the Muslims, seeing the way that Haridāsa Thakur was being beaten,
and they were amazed
they were amazed
that he's still surviving.
he's still surviving. Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adi Kanda 16.117.
দুই তিন বাজারে মারিল লোক মরে, 22 বাজারে মারিলাম যে ইহারে।
We beat someone in 2 or 3 marketplaces, they die. But we have beaten him in 22 marketplaces. Sri Caitanya Bhagavat Adi Kanda 16.118.
মরেও নারো দেখি হাসে ক্ষণে ক্ষণে, এ পুরুষ পীর বা সবেই ভাবে মনে।
We all thought he has not died, and moreover, we see that he is smiling. He is a powerful saint. Is he a powerful saint? Purport by this divine grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada. The word Pira, a Farsi word, refers to a Mohammedan saintly person who knows God or a widely respected great personality with extraordinary powers.
Haridāsa has miraculous survival
So Haridāsa Thakur's miraculous survival
of this extremely excessive punishment
of this extremely excessive punishment
made everyone respect him.
made everyone to respect him. Thus ends the chapter entitled Muslims thought that Srila Haridāsa Thakur to be a Mohammedan saintly person, under the section The Glories of Srila Haridāsa Thakur. Srila Haridāsa Thakur ki,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Srila Guru Mahārāja ki, Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you for watching our videos. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.